My organization at this present time is I'm a ordained minister of metaphysics at this time. But the purpose of this interview is to tell my experiences years ago that I had with the district government. Um, in the district government, back in the early 70s, I was employed as a surveyor. I had a very bad experience. At that time, the civil rights movement, women's liberation movement was going on. And I applied for a job with the D.C. Surveyor's Office as a surveyor because I studied civil engineering previously. And I was the first woman that they ever hired to work in that area, which was predominant a male position. They hired me on the assumption, really, to think that I wasn't going to be able to stay and keep the job because of the climate of the male there were hostile towards me. They had never had a woman to work with them before. They didn't want to have to change their patterns that they were into at that time by literature, language, of those things. The problem was that during the time that I had started, the men were hostile to me, and I endured that, and they didn't want me around. I endured that. I had to, my locker, I didn't have a locker really, I had a little space there. They used to put notes on it saying I was on a liberation, women's lib, and I wasn't in an organization of any kind at that time, and I have not been. I was just trying to work to take care of my daughter and myself. That's what I was doing. And they would say little snares and things in order to try to get me to leave the job and everything. So what they did, an incident happened while I was working one day in the field, and I was in the rumple seat of the truck that a car ran in the back of us. And I had sprained my upper body from the accident, and I was put on light duty. They didn't like the idea that I was placed on light duty. So they told one supervisor, indicated to me that if you're so ill, you shouldn't be here. You should go be at home somewhere. So anyway, what I did, I stayed off that Friday, and when I came back that Monday, they had a paper written up to fire me. So they indicated that I was mentally and physically unsuited to work with people. So I put in a suit against them. I reported it to the Human Rights Office and had them to investigate that office, in which they did and found discrimination of sex and race. Because the majority of the supervisors, in fact all the supervisors, were of Caucasian gender. And I had more education than all of them. So it was a threat feeling in regards to me and as being a woman. It took me 3 years to get restitution for that layoff. No one thought I would do it. The city council's office, the mayor's office, none of them. They said it was a conflict of interest. They couldn't get into it. But the human rights, head of the human rights director, James Baldwin, was the one that made the breakthrough for me. And I was restored back into a job, but I was no longer in the field, but I worked at that office. And I worked in the area of doing the drafting for topographical, cartographical, land markings and that sort of thing, until I left that department and went to another one. Just to make a decent living, you know, and to care for my daughter and myself the best I could at that time. But over the years, I have come into all kinds of obstacles, but I still continue to press on forward. By my divine source of my existence. My campaign is to be an advocate for truth and love. And that is to get all people, all races, all nationalities, to realize that there's only one, and that one is us as a people, as a human race. And we are to love each other and to help each other to achieve our goals. And the young people, I just love you because you're the future. You can change anything. You can master anything, as long as you keep your mind focused on doing good and living and loving yourself first, outside of the source of life, but loving yourself, caring for yourself, not abusing yourself. And that means in all ways, in everything. When you do that, there's nothing can stop you. Because we are looking for you all to be able to change all of these conditions that we have now. The deception, the mistrust, the jealousy, the envy, all of these things. And realize that we are all one people, no matter what nationality, what color, or where you came from, or where your views were, what status that you have in far as a financial area. None of those things you're going to take with you. But the true thing is to love yourselves and realize that you are important. You are the future. You are the future of the human race. And hate and envy and jealousy and all of these different things doesn't mean a thing. It's nothing. And love life, because life is beautiful. No matter all the obstacles and things that you're going to come up against, just keep remembering that. Because the source of life created you for a purpose. Anytime you can say, oh my God, if I look around and see, I'm beautiful. And I'm going to do magnificent things. That be your goal. That's what my goal is. To help in any kind of way that I can for the young people. Because I'm going to tell you like it is. I ask the source of life to bless you every day. Because you are our future. I want you all, and when you wake up in the morning, to say thank you for life another day. That I can have the opportunity to improve myself, to be the best that I can.